Dear future daughter-in-law, this is the story about how my best friend knew Pops 20 years before I did, and none of us knew it until right before we were about to get married. The best part of this story is that we didn't discover that. Her husband did, who actually had never known Pops other than meeting him when we were all dating. Not that we were all dating, but like all dating at the same time. Like she's dating him at the same time as like I'm dating Pops. Picture it. I'm a sophomore in high school. I grew up in a really small town. I moved to a somewhat larger town. I meet the girl down the street. Thankfully, she came down to meet our family. She brought us chocolate chip cookies, which to this day, I love chocolate chip cookies, and I believe that they should be at every event. Anyways, so I meet her, and she's part of a girl group that includes my best friend. All of us girls are very good friends for the course of our high school years, but when we graduated, the girl group kind of split up. And so me and my best friend became very, very besties and spent all of our 20s together, randomly dating men, but never being in a super serious relationship. We were each other's serious relationship. So anyways, she starts dating her future husband. I start dating my future husband. I knew I went to high school with him. Flashback to my sophomore year, I sit down in English, and who's behind me? This cute spatoots guy. I probably said hi to him, but I'm new. I don't know what's going on. Apparently he has this crush on me. I never know it. I find it out later when I'm 28, and I connect with him again, and I realize that that's the man that sat behind me in sophomore English, and then I end up marrying him. Also told my best friend many times in all of our conversations about what we thought our future would look like, that the person I was going to marry was someone I already knew. But that doesn't really matter for this story. What matters is in 2006, she gets proposed to, I get proposed to, we're both engaged, we're both so excited. She gets married in September, I get married in November. So right around August time, she's cleaning out her home and getting ready to move in with her fiance to prepare for being a married couple. And they're going through boxes of things. Who knows what? These black sandals that she would not part with, which she probably still has. They're the platform sandals from the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s, that we would wear to the bar. She probably still has them. Anyways, he comes across a picture, and it's one of those school pictures. So if you remember back in the day, I don't know if they still do this, they would take pictures of the whole entire class. Well, in this situation, the names weren't even on there. It was just pictures. And her husband says, hey, wait a minute. This looks like Pops. And she's like, oh my gosh, I think it is. So then she says to me, I found this class picture from my kindergarten class. Is this Pops? And we look at it, and he says, sure enough, it is. Turns out they lived in a duplex side by side with each other and were friends and hung out. And he played with her little brother, and their moms were friends. So then at my wedding shower, I, of course, invite my mother-in-law and, of course, invite my best friend's mom because I've known her for years. They get there, and they're chumming it up. They're old pals. So now Pops is like, oh, this is really fun and interesting. I actually knew your best friend before you did, and so that makes her my friend first. And I like to argue and say, oh, hell no. There's no way that you know her better than me. Talk about invisible string. Talk about maybe the butterfly effect. I still think it's interesting that my best friend knew my husband before I did, before I even knew that I would be moving here and being in the same class, and then my future husband sat behind me in sophomore English. What are the odds? If he tries to say that he knows my best friend more than me or longer than me, absolutely not. Just know that. You never know who's sitting next to you. You never know who's sitting behind you. You never know who your future spouse is going to be. Have some faith, all right? Let's go.